When I first saw this game's trailer in a gaming magazine CD when they still existed, I got intrigued. The game pulled me into its universe and the combat system was the main reason. It's easy to understand and I became a pro at abusing the wait and cast gameplay loop. It doesn't have the most advanced plot in a video game I've seen, but the interactions between the characters are just too adorable, memorable, and charming. You start off at a high tower where you are introduced to Aurora. She's the main protagonist of the game. Her goal is to return to her father's side. She journeys to several areas infested by creatures. Luckily, she finds several companions that you can interact with and recruit. Some require you to do their personal quests to permanently recruit them to your party. All of them are interesting, whether it's saving a village from poisoned water or helping an enemy knight to save his kind from imprisonment. The environment is her enemy too, set with dangerous obstacles of all kinds. There are some rewards to exploring the environment thoroughly. There can be all sorts of chests spread throughout the area and items that can upgrade the character's stats. There are also mega bosses, which are very easy to spot. They are very large in size, so it's very easy to distinguish them from normal enemies. The gameplay loop is very satisfying and easy to understand. You wait on a timeline, and when your character is on the red bar on the right side of the timeline, you will have to select either a skill, a normal attack, an item to use, or switch out a character. You can also escape, but I have too much pride for that shit. After selecting a skill, you'll have to wait a bit before the character can cast their action. The characters all have their own quirks and special abilities that distinguish them from one another. Some are tanky and feisty, while others are more supportive and completely broken. You can strengthen these characters further by developing their skill trees. You'll need to spend their skill points that are gained by leveling them up in battles. You'll never be tired because you have a lot of ways to defeat the enemies: direct brute force, elemental exploitation, time manipulation, or using the defense as the best offense strategy. Whatever you fancy, you have choices. The story is very simple, as I said earlier, but it executes it very brilliantly. While the main story is in the forefront, you'll be doing amazing side quests to unlock characters to learn more about the backgrounds of the towns and their inhabitants when progressing through the game. You do get invested in these characters, so they aren't an excuse to have a partner gameplay mechanic in the game by the developers. And they don't get swept to the side after you are done getting them in your party. They give interactions and conversations with other party members that keep their presence as important as the main characters. These can happen after recruitments or after battles, and they don't happen just once. They are also integrated into the main plot because you do stumble upon them through this, but they are entirely optional when recruiting them. I played this game on PC and I encountered no issues whatsoever. I use the DS4 controller program on my PC along with a PS4 controller. I didn't like that you must use the right analog stick to control your Firefly companion in combat, so I used my PS4 controller to mimic the controls of an Xbox 360 controller. And one of the features of the DS4 program is that you can use the touchpad on the PS4 controller as a mouse. This elevated my issue, but other than that, this game is flawless. With genius poetry for dialogue, beautiful pencil stroke textures on the environments, and music that will make you feel like a war god, this is a beautiful package of role-playing fun.